Hi there, today I thought I would bring you another costume or cosplay tutorial. This is the part 2 of how to blend dark bio hair with very pale wigs. Now this wig is an Elsa wig from Frozen, and it is a little bit too small being a costume wig for my big old head. And you can see that my dark edges peek out. So we're going to try to disguise that with the glue stick method, which you might have seen for eyebrows. I've done it with my eyebrows, but I've never tried it with my edges. It is kind of a drag queen cosplay trick to hide those edges. So first you put your wig on to decide how much you're going to need to cover, and then you put on a wig cap. This happens to be a blonde wig cap, and we are going to try to disguise it. You will need a glue stick. You want to get a non-toxic, kind of kid-safe one. This one happens to be purple, and it dries clear or white. And you want to make sure you get a fresh, brand new one, because over time your glue stick will dry out and be less pliable. And then you will need concealer. This is a Wet n Wild stick concealer, but you can use any kind of thick liquid or stick type concealer. You will need some face powder. This is by Flower and is shade L01. And then you will need foundation. And you will also need some patience and time, because it's going to take quite a while to build up some layers of glue and then put on concealer and powder to make it look like skin. So let's get started. You also need a spatula or a knife, in my case, to spread this glue on. And what I do is I use the back dull edge of a butter knife because it is flat and smooth, and you want a smooth coverage. So you just take a little bit, and I like to put it in here to kind of get it pliable. And then we are just going to smooth it on. And it looks quite bright, but it will dry clear. And this first coat is just to kind of get those hairs to lay down flat, and then later you work for a smooth surface. All right, I'm just gonna let this first coat dry and get started on the other side. Okay, as you can see, the first coat of glue has dried clear, and it is smooth and not tacky. So now we are ready to do a coat of powder and our second coat of glue, because right now it's got this texture of hair and you're looking for the texture of skin. So I'm just gonna take some powder. And then our glue stick again. And make sure you put your lid on in between your drying of coats, because otherwise your glue stick will dry out. So we get some on our little spatula knife. And I just work it into the lid to kind of make it more pliable. And then apply that second coat. You don't want to make your coats too thick or they won't dry properly. So a thin coat is perfectly fine. All right, that's pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Okay, my second coat of glue is dry and it's not tacky. If I were going for perfection, I would go for a third coat, but my light is fading, so I'm just gonna try to conceal this. And I'm gonna give you a little bit of a close-up of just the glue. So this is just 2 coats, and it's pretty smooth. I'm actually kind of impressed that this is working. So we are going to do a coat of powder. So see, that it's pretty smooth, so not bad. Now it does take a long time, so 5, 10, sometimes 15 minutes for that coating of glue to dry. So be sure to give yourself a lot of time. So now I'm going to take some concealer and put that on as well. And another coat of powder. So it's looking more and more like skin as we go on. And then I'm going to do some foundation. This is a Rimmel foundation. All right, we're going to let this coat air dry a little bit. And remember, I only need to get about that much covered, so the rest is just kind of a bonus. And we're going to let that dry a little bit and then do another coat of powder. Okay, I went ahead and did another coat of powder and another coat of foundation. And I'm going to zoom in so you can kind of see where we are. Now it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. I have to say I'm kind of impressed that this is even working. The only thing I would do is make sure that I smooth out this edge of like the teeny tiny baby hairs. I was more concerned with back here, not realizing that I would get kind of a weird wrinkle right there. Right here. But you could go back and fix that. But for right now, we're just going to do a final coat of powder and see if that does the trick. So for the area I need to cover, looks pretty good. So normally my hair comes down to there. This does make you look a little bit crazy and a little bit like, I don't know, a Star Trek alien or something. But once you have your wig on, it should look normal. I'm just gonna knock off the excess powder, and then I'm going to switch to a pressed powder and just powder all the rest of my face. The little edges. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our wig back on. So now you can see that's way better than it was before. So unless somebody's right up close to you, they're not gonna know that you have concealed a little bit of hair there. So I'll pull it up so you can see where it is, and then pull it back down. So it's not that I just have it seated lower than I did previously. It really is hiding what would normally be right here and right here. So then when you bring these forward pieces down, it looks much more convincing for your cosplay or your Halloween costume. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe.